Lastly, we have our final video, which is covering part 3 of our lesson on Africa's climate zones, resources, and populated areas. Now, we've already covered climate zones, locations, geography, what it looks like in Africa. We've covered where people live in Africa and why they might live there, maybe why you live where you live, and what are the reasons? What's available? And we've covered those resources that are available for people to live there, right? We've covered the Niger River and food supplies. Now we're going to go into the third section. What are the main resources? What is available in Africa that allows people to survive? Okay. Reminder once again, what you're going to do is you're going to listen, take some notes, maybe focus on some stuff and ask a quick question if you don't understand or comment. Also, if you agree or disagree with somebody else, make sure you're being sincere and professional about it. We don't want anybody to be impolite. And be ready to share for the next day when we cover this in class. Okay? I do have some guiding questions to help keep your focus in case you're writing your notes and you want to jot some ideas down. Try and go back to these questions at the end of your notes and answer these if you need to help you come up with something to discuss. Okay? So we are covering Africa's main resources. Basically, you can tell directly from these pictures what they probably are. This one you can tell by what's in this person's hands. This is gold. Africa has a lot of it. In fact, Africa is also very famous for diamonds. But during this time period, diamonds were not as popular as gold. Secondly, if you can't tell, these camels are carrying what we call salt slabs, salt blocks. Yes, that is what it looks like in large quantities. It's hard, thick salt slabs. And lastly, a major resource of Africa was the African slave trade. Okay, we're going to go over to these resources and look at them in a bigger view. So here's the map showing all the major resources. As you can see, because of Africa's area and climate zones and its geography, a lot of stuff was deposited, mineral deposits. Those mineral deposits are your brass, copper, gold, salt, sugar. A lot of things were pretty much left and people found out that they were very valuable. So they started mining those minerals. We weren't really professional with creating textiles or weapons, not so much as the Europeans and the Asian trade. But for now, we did a lot of exporting of minerals in West Africa. As you can see from this picture, a lot of those minerals and villages and areas of salt and cities and empires were based along, guess what? The Niger River. Here you see it. This salt was mined from Africa's deserts with the Sahara Desert, and then it was used for trading, and they used camels to carry the salt blocks or slabs. Okay. Another source of trade was the slave trade. Now, why do you think slave trade? Most people use slave trade for labor. That's right, they use it for labor. And if you're in somewhere where you need a lot of stuff mined and it's very hard work, you're going to need people to do it. So a lot of West African tribes would attack each other, take their resources, capture people, and put them to work in the mines, usually for gold or for salt. Okay? So those are some of the things that Africa traded as its resources. Now, going back real quick, I want you to think back to the climate zones where people live and the resources and how those things developed into cities or bigger villages and what that led to. What do people need? What do people want? What do people do when they want something from somewhere else? Right? Okay, so I hope to discuss these things